Thanks for watching. It's been good to hang out with My Chemical Romance backstage here at the Hi-Fi Bar in Melbourne. You guys obviously you've got a very, very high energy show. Sometimes I'm guessing you stand on stage and go, crikey, this is getting a bit out of control. How do you feel, when you're on the mic and you see something going down in the crowd? How do you feel responsible?
Well, Warped Tour is actually the best example of that kind of thing happening. There was days on Warped Tour you walk out of there on stage with the fear of God, you know what I mean? Just how many kids are gonna go down there? Is anybody gonna get hurt? Is anybody gonna die? We had to stop songs every day. So you and then after a week of that though, you weren't as scared anymore, and then you get used to it. You know what to look for. You see a whole bunch of people fall down, that's the one. And you don't see them get up, that's when you stop. So we got used to that, and after that, anything's really manageable in a club or even in an arena, you can manage it. So.
But do you feel that responsibility weighs upon you or weighs upon?
Yeah, I mean, they're there to see you. There's a lot of things that are out of their control, so you are responsible. It's not like everything's just so awesome that you can't stop a song. You need to get over yourself at a certain point and be all right, we can stop this song. We don't have to keep it going just because the show's going great. There's people that are getting trampled. So. But
do you remember going to see bands and being in that situation, being on the floor and going?
It's kind of confusing too, because when you have that many people, and especially young kids that maybe they haven't been to that many shows, they start to panic, and when sometimes there's a situation where there's those sinkholes where one person will fall down, some people go on top. Sometimes the situation can be remedied really quick. Other times, there is a problem. And you kind of have to wait for security and people that are trained in that to tell you what to do, Yeah,
because it got to a point on Warp 2 where it started to become such a habit that you'd be 3 weeks in and then people would be trying to stop the show just to do it. You know what I mean? Oh, stop. And it's just a lot of people crying wolf out there. So you got to kind of really know, But it's scary. You don't know if they're serious or not.
Well, good on you for taking that responsibility, because many bands don't, and it's frightening when you're in the pit and that happens. You're about to go on, in a couple of hours. What's the pre-show ritual? What happens before the rock arrives? Bob?
Jumping jacks. 75 jumping jacks. We all do high fives.
Yep.
And
prayer circle?
No prayer circle.
No prayer circle.
We got this lineup that our guy Matt Cortez figured out, that we kind of line up all the band guys and everyone else on this side, and we do kind of at the end of a soccer game, you high five everybody, and then you loop around. So we all used to do it, just kind of high five, and it was a mess, and you'd forget to high five certain people. So we've got it down to a science now. We do jumping jacks, and then everyone else has their own little routines that they do.
Superstitions. Pee a lot. Yeah, they pee a lot.
I have to wash my hands.
16 wheeze. What about you, Gerard? What's your pre-show?
I do the same thing as them. I don't pee as much, but that's it, right?
75 jumping jacks, 16 wheeze, right?
I just usually warm up for a half hour. Just play guitar, limber up the fingers. Nothing, no weird,
Get into the fruit platter, anything like that?
No,
You don't want to put anything in your stomach before you go on.
You learned that the hard way?
No.
I thought you were going to tell me a story about vomiting on stage.
That's never actually happened. But just from the early days, you didn't get to eat a lot, so sometimes you'd be playing at 5 in the afternoon or whatever, and you'd have to eat, and then you'd realize you couldn't even move. So you kind of learn that way, not to eat 3 hours before you play.
Lethargic up there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you won't be tonight, guys. Thank you for your time. I know you're tired as. You probably want a bit of a rest, but really appreciate it. Thanks for coming down. Don't be long before you come back on a proper tour, will you?
Yeah, we'll probably be back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Be good.
Right on.
Don't forget, for your per diems, you can own a house by the beach in
All right.
Australia. Like that.